Good morning everyone. This is Jhimi Gangopadhyay, student of IUT Tripura, and today I'm going to discuss about operant conditioning theory. So the founder of operant conditioning theory is B.F. Skinner. Here is some information about B.F. Skinner. His full name is Bruce Frederick Skinner. He was an American psychologist, behaviorist, inventor, and social philosopher. He is known for his work in behavior analysis and his operant conditioning theory. During 1930s, B.F. Skinner proposed the theory of operant conditioning. Now, here's the theory operant conditioning. So, what is the meaning of operant? Operant are those behavior or responses which are emitted by animals and human beings voluntarily and are under their control. So, the voluntary word is very important. It means of one's own free will. So, we can say when an organism behaves or responds in their environment according to their needs, then this behavior is called operant behavior according to Skinner. Now, what is conditioning? Conditioning is a form of learning in which either a given stimulus becomes increasing effective in evoking a response or a response occurs with increasing regularity in a well-specified and stable environment. The type of reinforcement used will determine the outcome. Now, come to the definition of operant conditioning. Operant conditioning, sometimes called instrumental conditioning or Skinnerian conditioning, is a method of learning that uses rewards and punishment to modify behavior. So, through operant conditioning, behavior that is rewarded is likely to be repeated, while behavior that is punished is prone to happen less. So here, in the operant conditioning theory, Skinner described about reinforcement and punishment. So, Skinner divide the reinforcement into two types: positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement, where a stimulus is presented in the positive reinforcement and in negative reinforcement, stimulus removed. Just like in positive reinforcement, for example, you give a child reward or award a trophy for getting good marks in math, and in negative stimulus removed means if you maybe you take the trophy back from the student. That's why you will gain the same marks in the next exam. So in the both cases, the behavior will increase. And in punishment, positive stimulus presented. And also in the negative punishment, the stimulus removed. Here in the both cases, the bad behavior or the unwanted behavior will decrease. So the basic. And now to prove his theory, he done an experiment. So here is experiment of operant conditioning on 1932. The materials of the experiments are Skinner box or operant conditioning chamber, hungry rat, tray and food. So here we can see the rat is in the Skinner box. Here is the lever and a tray and a container, a electric grid and the rat. So a hungry rat is placed in the chamber, which was so built that the rat could move inside but could not come out. In the chamber, there was a lever which was connected to a food container kept on the top of the chamber. When the lever is pressed, a food pellet drops on the plate placed close to the lever, which, while moving around and pawing the walls, the hungry rat accidentally presses the lever and the food pellet drops on the plate. The hungry rat eats it. In the next trial, after a while, the exploratory behavior again starts. As the number of trials increases, the rat takes lesser and lesser time to press the lever for food. Conditioning is complete when the rat presses the lever immediately after it is placed in the chamber. In the above situations, the response is instrumental and getting food is its consequences. So, here we can see that the rat is learning and adopting new processes and behaviors driven by proactivity, inclinations, needs, etc. So, here we can see specific consequences are associated with a voluntary behavior. In the first part, rewards introduced to increase the behavior and punishment introduced to decrease the behavior. So, as the food is the prime need of the rat, so when he presses the lever, it's a voluntary behavior and he get the food as a reward. So it's a positive reinforcement. And when he, in the second picture, when he presses the wrong lever, he get electric shock. So it's the negative reinforcement, or you can say, no, it's the punishment through which the wrong behavior will stops. So in the second picture, punishment introduce decrease the behavior, it's a punishment. And the first picture, it's a positive reinforcement. So here we can see when the rat presses the lever, there is no specific stimulus at first, and when he presses, it's become a response, and as a result, the food comes. So then the food becomes the stimulus in the second time, and then he presses the lever and gets the food, then it's become the response. That's the whole of that's the experiment. Now, what are the findings of the experiment? Skinner found that when and how often behavior were reinforced plays an important role in the speeds and strength of acquisition. Means the behavior were reinforced means when the rat presses the lever, he gets the food. So giving him the food is like a reinforcement for him. That's why he will presses the lever whenever he will whenever he is hungry. So we can say that the behavior was reinforced the how often behavior was reinforced plays a role in the speed and strength of acquisition. Now the second thing is responded behavior. What is responded behavior? Responded behavior is a behavior that is caused by stimulus in the environment. Now what is operant behavior? Operant behavior is a behavior that is not initiated by a specific stimulus. Initiated by an unspecified stimulus is called operant behavior. Now what is S-type conditioning? So S-type conditioning ideal to the Pavlov classical conditioning, a stimulus to be conditioned is repeated paired with an unconditioned stimulus until it comes to elicit the same response that is made when the unconditioned stimulus is present. And what is R-type conditioning? The type R conditioning is involves operant behavior and emphasizes is on the response. Type R conditioning is also called operant conditioning. Okay, there is the findings. Now, what are the principles of this operant conditioning? The 5 principles of the operant conditioning are positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment, and extinction. Now, if you say what is reinforcement, then reinforcement is the process in which a behavior is strengthened by the immediate consequence that reliably follows its occurrence. When a behavior is strengthened, it is more likely to occur again in the future. So, it is the reinforcement, and here you can see the picture, the positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, and negative punishment. Then here is the example. Positive reinforcement is something is added to increase the likelihood of a behavior. Example, child gets praise for parents from good school grade, as I explained before. A child gets the trophy for his good marks in maths. So it's like that. And positive punishment, something is added to decrease the likelihood of a behavior. Example, parent scolding a child for fighting with their siblings. Negative reinforcement here, something is removed to increase the likelihood of a behavior. Example, a child cleans their room to avoid nagging parents. And here negative punishment is something is removed to decrease the likelihood of behavior. Example, child losing iPad privileges after refusing to eat vegetables. So here are the principles. And what are the characteristics of the operant conditioning? All behaviors is learned. Consequences result from behavior, reward, and punishment. Behavior that is rewarded with reinforcers tends to recur. The longer the duration of the reinforcing stimulus, the greater the persistence of the behavior. The connection between the stimulus and the response in operant conditioning is not a mechanical connection but an outcome-based connection. Now, here one thing I missed, that is extinction. So, what is extinction? When operant behavior that has been previously reinforced no longer produces reinforcing consequences, the behavior gradually stops occurring. So that is, and here the characteristics which I discussed before. So, now what are the implications of this operant conditioning? Operant conditioning has valuable implication for reinforcement techniques in the classroom. Superstitions, phobias, anxiety, nervousness among children can be removed or minimized with the help of the conditioning. Has a constructive impact on students' behavior, commitment and self-perception. Now come to the conclusion part. In conclusion, operant conditioning is an important aspect of psychology that has numerous applications in everyday life. But understanding the principles of positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement and punishment, individual can modify behavior and encourage positive outcomes. Thank you everyone for watching this video.